Okay, so if we will not keep tracking that record, so that's very obvious that we will go into loss. Because for example, if we are selling rose flowers or sunflowers too much, and the jasmine and other many types of flowers are just there in the market and in the mart, and they are just being sold one or twice in the whole day. So for the next day, if for example I have to come up with the product, so obviously I will come up with bouquets of roses and sunflowers and something like that. So because the reason is that they are getting sold, and our main goal is that we have to sell things to generate revenue, and after revenue we have to get profit. So that's all. Okay, so now first of all, if we I gave you an example of very small business. Now let's talk about organization. An organization is group of people who works to achieve a common goal. Now what is a transaction? A transaction is a completed agreement between a buyer and a seller to exchange goods, services, or financial assets. The types of transactions that we have: wherever property changes hands, there has been a business transaction. For example, I am selling a car, and the other person tell me to not pay me in money but instead give me a property in this specific area, so I will just give him that. That is a kind of transaction that we can do. But nowadays mostly people don't do that, because they say that property is going upwards, it is having a rise in terms of price, so they don't exchange goods now many in this specific time. At this time they just deal mostly with cash, mostly, but still there are people who do deal in terms of properties, goods, or anything. There could be many things like that. Okay, so then sales and purchase occur in two different ways: by cash or on credit. Okay, so this is an important and interesting topic, whether sales should be done on cash or credit. Many businesses, they do sales on cash, and many do that on credit. When we are having some very large business, so we mostly do payments on credit. Now let me tell you, for example, I'm a company owner. I'm a distributor of a steel mill. Okay, the steel mills make a factory makes steel, and I'm the one who will distribute it among the people, and I will sell it to the one who is going to make a house, who is going to build a building. So obviously they are my audience, they are the one whom I'm going to sell my thing. So I will just go and give them things. So now credit, let me explain credit. How will we have credit? Credit is the steel I will go to the steel mill owner on this, or the salesperson. I will tell him that you just give me that, we will sign a contract between both of us. Then we will have I will say, I will go yeah, I will take your steel to my shop, I will sell it, and in these days, like for example, I tell him that in 10 days I will pay you the cost of that steel, and he will say okay, you can do that. So mostly businesses are runs like this. Okay, let me give you another example of credit business. For example, I go to a Kit Kat distributor, and I'm a supermarket owner. I am an owner. I will go to the supermarket, I will go to the Kit Kat company, and have a meeting with the sales manager, sales person, and I will tell him that you should give me this much amount of, and in this much number of Kit Kat, and this much number of Kit Kat, and I will just take them to my supermarket, and over there after 5 days, 10 days, or even 30 days, I will pay you this amount. So this is again a credit business. Even though still we have cash business. Cash business is like, I go to a person and tell him that give me this much number of tables, 100 tables with along with 100 chairs, and and I'm just going to pay you at this specific moment. Give me chairs, I will give you money. So this is cash business, because we are exchanging goods with money. So that is cash business. Then another example is, I go to a factory where pens are being made. I tell the salesperson that I want this much amount of pen. You just give I will give you this much money, and you give me this number of pens in this bulk, so he will say okay, that's a cash business. But usually big businesses are usually run upon credit money, credit transactions, because everybody is not ready at that specific movement to sell that thing, because they might not have that good team, or could be many reasons like that. Okay, so now, for example, if now let's talk about purchases for cash or purchases for credit. If I'm going to sell a thing, it's almost the same, but the opposite of what I said earlier. For example, I go to I'm an owner of a Coca-Cola company, and a distributor comes that and tells me that give me this much of Coca-Cola bottles and I will sell you that. And he tells me that after this much days I will pay you. I will say okay and just get that, and he will give me about how many days he told me to do that. So okay, so now let's talk about in so okay, that's all for today. In the next video we will have some other topic. Thank you.